Okay, okay, I don't know why I'm not getting the picture I'm supposed to be getting. Oh, there it is. Okay, good. This is going to be a little hit and miss at the beginning because, so yeah, this is going to be a little hit and miss at the beginning because I haven't used OBS in a long time and I'm having to remember how to do a stream. At any rate, we can get started now. But first, I have to put a notice on Discord. Okay, here we go. I'm going to start by listing the goals and specifications I've laid out. The program is going to be a text file reader. Oops, I misspelled reader. And the first goal is that it reads any text file anywhere on the system. The second goal is that it distinguishes between module files and data files. The reason being that module files would not be text files. Text files are not necessarily data files, but the first version will not deal with text files with embedded display codes, which means I won't be attempting to read a file that has display codes embedded in it. The specifications. It reads lines up to 255 characters. Any lines longer than 80 characters will be line broke on a word boundary. And it pauses at line 24 with a prompt on line 25 to press a key to continue. So I've got a little more on number 2 there. What it's going to do is it's going to determine if the line is longer than 80 characters, and if it is going to look for the last space character before the end of the line. It's going to print that portion of the line from the beginning of the line to that point, and then put what remains into a temporary string. Then it will read the next line. If the temporary string is not empty, it will append whatever is in that string to the beginning, or I said not append, but prepend what's in it to the beginning of the string it just read from the file, and then parse it again. And it will, actually I got that wrong. It'll just keep line breaking until it reaches the end of the line, and then go read the next line. Anyway, so the error traps I'm going to have are a file not found or path name not found error, a bad path name error, a read error, a seek error, and an IO deadlock error. And the reason that I'm going to have all of those errors trapped is because you never know when you might run into one. And I intend to have those particular errors trapped so I can deliver a specific message if need be. For example, with the bad path name or path name not found errors, it'll let you know that it couldn't find the file and then send you back to the prompt to enter the name of the file or the path list to the file that you want to read. The 244 error is basically an error reading the file. If for some reason there is a problem with the file and it can't read it, this is the error you will get. So I want to be able to deliver a message that this file has an error that cannot be dealt with by this program, give you the appropriate error code, and end the program. The seek error is actually not necessary. In a text file, you're only going to do one seek, and that's to the beginning of the file. The only reason to do that is if you're at the end of the file and you want to read it again. Then you have to seek back to the beginning of the file and begin reading the lines in again. So the seek error probably won't happen unless for some strange reason it decides to seek to a location before 0. So I'll have the seek error trap in there in that eventuality. And then lastly, there will be the IO deadlock error. And what that error is about is if you have another program reading the same file and this program reaches the same point where the file pointer to the other program is, it's going to report an error that it cannot read past that point. And that is the IO deadlock error. So I will want to report a message that another application is reading the file and I cannot, this app cannot read past that point, and then end the program. So that's basically the idea. So let me put this in here. Not fatal and not fatal. The rest of these will be fatal errors. There. This way I know, make sure that this one does not end the program, make sure this one does not end the program, and make sure that these 3 do. Now there is one error that is not trappable. I cannot trap the escape key. or break key on a Cocoa keyboard. That is a non-trappable error. You press escape or break on the Cocoa keyboard and it just terminates the program and goes back to the shell. It's just that simple. There is nothing you can do about it. So I can't even trap for that error and I'm not even going to try. So this is the specifics. Now let's see what I can do. I'm calling the program text file reader. So we start with the procedure line. I had that backwards. Procedure text reader. So the first thing I need to do is think about what variables I need. So we will start with let's see, path. Path is for the path number to the file. Path open is a Boolean that I will use to make sure that the file gets properly closed in the case of an error or a fatal error. Okay, so then error will be for the error code. That'll be an integer. Now, what other integers do I need? Let's see. For a line longer than 80 characters, I need 3 different integers for position locators. The first one will be 80, the second one will be 160, and the third one will be 240. And that is for the parsing, so that if the line is long enough and 80 characters didn't do the whole thing, that it continues where it left off from 80 and goes through 159, or actually, yeah, it'll be 80 through 159, and then 160 through 239, and then the remainder is 240 through 255. So we'll use a integer array for that. Actually, I could do that with a byte array. Well, I'll keep it an integer array just because I'm already there. So let me 3. Let's see. I'm going to need a counter for the number of lines read from the file. Let's see. Okay. I'll call that good until I find a place where I need another variable. Okay. Oops. Might help if I put dim in there, won't it? Okay. Okay, I'm going to do this. Okay, so, I need CLS, which is also a byte. Colon equals 12. Okay, that's a good start. So I'll use input. Text file to be read. Oh, I forgot the strings. There. So it'll be file path. Want to make sure it's not being updated. Now, no, nothing's going to get written, so it only needs to be in read mode. Then path open colon equals true. Oh, forgot another very important thing. On error to 1000. I'm going to call it 1000 until I figure out how many line numbers I'm actually going to use. Okay. So now, assuming the file was opened correctly, well, not EOF number path. Oh, it might open if I open the path, right? Number path, comma. There. Do. Get this part done first so it's already done. We'll do the generic one first. Okay, that's good enough for the error trap for now. Now, read number path, comma. just to make sure. And I suppose I should also do the same with file paths. So this is not going to be 10, it's going to be 20. Reason. Here's our temp string. Okay, let's see. Now I'm doing this way because I am working up to the code that actually does the word break. There, I think that'll work. It looks right. But this is where the possibility of errors creeps in. It looks right, but I'm not sure if it is. So that should at the very least print multiple lines on a line longer than 80 characters. So let's see, what else do I got here? Add a line number for each line of text that it prints. There, that way it'll have a line number for each line of text that it's. Oh, okay. Have to rethink that because now all of a sudden 79 characters doesn't work. So we'll leave that out for the moment. This is for the pause at the bottom of the screen. 20. There, now I got it right. Most. There. Now, if it's space, it'll just continue. If it's R, I have to put in, wait a minute, I missed a quote. Substring, then yeah, if it's R, it exits the loop, closes the path, sets the file open boolean to false, and then goes back to here, clears the screen, and oh, wait a minute. No, that's not the right one. Okay. Okay, those are not needed there. I'm going to save them though, because they are needed for a different thing that I didn't even think about yet. The file is not being closed, the path is not being false, and it's not exiting the loop. Okay. There. That should do it. So now I need to add another one for, let's see, for doing a different file. Okay, that's just within the width of the line. So now, come back up here. There. Let's step through it and see. Clear the screen. File path. Oh, okay. Read that. There. Okay, let's see here. Oh, okay, line count cannot be greater than 24. No. Okay, so since I'm doing that everywhere, there. Okay, that needs to be an exitive also. There. Now that should read a text file, but it still doesn't do one very important thing, which is line breaking on a word boundary, and it does not include the seek error or the IO error or the read error. Okay, that should do for all the errors. Now to put some time into thinking about how to do this so that if the line is longer than 80 characters, it will correctly line break it at the last word on the line. So I have to think about that a little bit. Let's see. First, let's save what we have so we don't lose it. Okay. Okay, so the first thing I have to do is figure out where the last space is before the end of one screen line, which is 80 characters, but it's actually 79 because the 80th character is the carriage return. And since that will be inserted by the print statement, I can only do the first 79 characters. So let me think about this for a second. Put a couple of lines in here so I have some room to work. So we're going to be taking the first 79 characters, which is this. Okay. Okay, let's put a test string in there that I can use to try to figure this out. That's only 42 characters. Okay. And that's too long. Okay. 97, 96, 95, 94, 93, 92, 91, 90, 89, 88, 87, 86, 85, 84, 83, 82, 81, 80. This should be 80 characters. Yep. So that is 79 characters. The last space character is at position 75, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79. So the last space is at position 75. So what I have to do is count backwards from the right end of the line until it reaches a space character. Let me see, I need a position counter for that. And temp lines, pause count equals 79 to 1 step minus 1 until the character in mid-string temp line pause count comma 1 equals a space, and then the temp line is adjusted to be the length of the string minus pause count minus 1. Okay, now doing it this way, I'm duplicating all of the code for these lines right here. Actually, no, that one's for these lines here. I'm duplicating them to come, for example, these three will go, excuse me, will go there, but then I have to have another set there and another set there, each dealing with the different positions. Okay, I'm going to pause the stream for a minute because I need to go to the bathroom. Okay, this thing doesn't tell me how to pause it. Okay, be right back. Okay, I'm back. Now let's see. Next, I will just put the same code in on all three of them. Okay, it's not needed on this one. It's needed on these two. Okay, so for example, I removed 5 characters. So I have to add those 5 back in here. Pause count. So up here, pause count is 75. So I come here, I do position 2 minus pause count. That's not right. Position 1 minus pause count. And this one here would be position 2. No. Hmm. 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 This is proving to be more difficult than I thought. So let's come back up here. And if the next one is greater than 159, then you do this. Otherwise, you just set temp line to the rest of the line. So let's finish out this line. So 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85. Pause count is 75. So 1, 2, 3, 22. 85 minus 22 is 63. That's not right. Oh, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 80, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. 85 minus 11, or 85 minus 75 is 10. So So length of temp line, that's supposed to be there. Oh, there's another one there. A lim temp line is 85. Pause count -1 is 10. 75 plus 10 is 85. 75 plus 11 is 86. Yeah. So pause count -1 is 10. 85 minus 10 is 75. I think that's correct. It could be wrong, but I think it's correct. Okay. 9, then temp line. Temp line needs to be the same as this. Copy. Oops, that's not the right one. Oh, maybe that is right. Oh. I am definitely having trouble with this one. I know that there's going to be errors if I try to include that code the way it is. And I have to really do some thinking to fix this. So there's my test line. That's 85. I double that line. It's 86 more. It's 171. Okay. 171 is greater than 159. So 160. So in this particular case, the space character is right at 160. So let's see. From the last one, it started from here. 97. 96 if I start from there. All right. Okay, that actually looks like it might work. But the only way I can tell for sure is to run the program. So it looks like I probably did not succeed in writing a procedure that had no bugs from the start. But I'm pretty sure that it won't error out. It'll just be a runtime, not even a runtime error, a display error. The text file isn't going to look the way it's supposed to. So 343 is too much because it can't be greater than 255. Oh, that's 2 characters too long. Okay. There, that's 255 characters. So let's see. So that's longer than 79. There. Okay. Longer than 80, longer than 160, longer than, or I should say longer than 79, longer than 169, and longer than 239. Then of course I'll do one that's less than 80 characters. That gives me 4 test lines. So the question will be, how will it run? So first thing I gotta do is prepare everything in VCC. So can I add a new source while I am streaming? Let's find out. Okay, now let's see. Yes, it shows up. Good. So the first thing we're going to do is create the text file. Whoa, what the heck was that? Whoa, okay. So, edit has a problem. It won't accept lines 255 characters long or lines 160 characters long. Okay. Well, I guess I'll test that one instead. Okay. Copy. Paste text. Well, what? Oh, great. No wonder. I didn't notice I had 2 commas in there. Well, I already failed the no errors test. I've got to. Oh, yeah, can't do that with an exitive. Okay, there it is. And I've still got errors. What the hell? Well, I apparently failed this test miserably. So I'm going to end the stream there since I have figured out that I'm not going to be able to do it. I thought I could. Okay, I'll see you next time.